Alright, and I'm back. This is my first time trying Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So, I hope you all enjoy my gameplay. And thank you for watching. Okay. I think we're ready. Okay, it's working. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Test. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let's take a look at the options. Okay, different languages. It says text skip, full auto skip. Am I sure I want that? These are the default options, so maybe I should just try it. Let me take a look at the controls. I think I might be able to play this game using my controller. Let me try it. See if it makes it easier. Okay. Because if this all can be changed around to the controller, that might make it easier to navigate. Does it tell me? I can't go to the right. Present core record tab. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to remember this. Let's just dive in. Okay, there's a few different games you can try as a part of this series that I got. There's Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations. I think Ace Attorney is the first one, so let's dive into Ace Attorney. Episode 1, the first turnabout. Do I have other options? I guess not. No, I don't. Damn it. Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. someone like him. Make it look like he did it. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 2. This is already starting to remind me of Crime and Punishment. Okay, I think that I can't. Okay, I've got to click through this. Bonfire. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Oh, hi, Chief. Glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. Absolutely, miss. We'll figure out who did it. It says a lot about you. And your client as well. He's extremely lucky to have me, miss. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything. It's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death. Despair. Oh. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. Don't do anything rash. Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. And this is Butts. Nick. Hey. Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. He's at the end of the road. He's at the end of the line. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. It's like Squid Games all over again. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Aw, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death. The newspapers say it was you. But sometimes the papers lie. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. This SO was always the first suspect. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the Butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He's a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. Like dating a woman who's been murdered. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one. Which is why I took the case. To clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. Alright. August 3rd, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The judge says, the prosecution is ready, Your Honor. That's Payne, the lawyer for the prosecution, I'm assuming. Which is, well, it's obvious from what he said. The defense is ready, Your Honor. So I'm the defense attorney, Phoenix Wright. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I might be a little nervous, but that doesn't mean I can't present my client. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Okay, no pressure. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. I hope so too. Ugh. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. Larry Butts, we're trying to get him off. The defendant, well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. I'm a little bit curious what would have happened if I would have chosen the wrong answer. Like, would Larry Butts be reassigned a different attorney? Or would I get a game over? Like, what would happen if I just gave the wrong answer? Like, I'm representing someone else. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Whew, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... wait. Uh-oh. No way. I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Yeah, and is there a way... Okay. Yeah, some controls... Is it start? No. It's not start. I can save the game. The first turnabout. Yeah, I don't know. I think tab's the only way to get into this file. Okay. I'll be right back, guys. I use the bathroom again. Okay, so start is options for me. I don't see an option other than tab to access the court records. And I believe that today's episode will be focused on this case. Turnabout. The first turnabout will be the focus of today's episode. Okay. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? And Mia's saying that. Who's Mia? Let me look through some of this evidence first. Okay. Attorney's badge. No one would believe I was a defense attorney. No one would believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. like your law license or whatever it is. Cindy's autopsy report. Time of death was 7:31, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Cause of death was loss of blood due to blunt trauma. If I press right bumper, it takes me to the profiles. Mia Fey is 27 years old. She's a chief attorney at Fey & Co. My boss and a very good defense attorney. Okay. Larry Butts is age 23, the defendant in this case. A likable guy who's been my friend since grade school. Cindy Stone is the victim in this case. She's 22. A model, she lived in an apartment by herself. Winston Payne's 52 years old. He's the prosecutor for this case. Lacks presence. Generally bad at getting his points across. Maybe I can take advantage of that. You don't even know the victim's name. Oh, the victim. Of course. I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. He says, look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. I've already reviewed it, Mia. Just press tab to check it any time, okay? Thank you for the recap. Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. You'll need to check that. Yeah, you'll need to check the court case. Because if you don't, you're just guessing, I think. Cindy Stone is the victim's name. Cinderblock. You know, Cinderblock. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Like, what happens if I get it wrong? I don't know. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was hit with a blunt object. She was neither poisoned nor strangled. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed. That's for sure. Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Statue added to the court record. A statue in the shape of the Thinker. It's rather heavy. Right. So now if I hit tab... Okay, so I've gotten new evidence. Why is the attorney's badge here, though? I don't actually know. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use tab to check the court record frequently. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Hope he doesn't throw himself under the bus. But that's why you have legal counsel, right? Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls. Or seeing me. Ever. Ah, poor Larry. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned me. I was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies. All of it lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport added to the court record. Passport. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on 7:30, the day before the murder. Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Okay. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I wait and see what happens or stop him from answering? I am curious to see what happens if I wait. But I think the right play is to stop him from answering. Curiosity. Why does it always get the best of me? Let me just stop him from answering this time. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. She's gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? Need to... hold on. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy. This is not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Have him answer honestly or stop him from answering? I'll just let him answer this time. I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. Order. The significant other is always the first suspect. Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man. So, like, I didn't see her. Objection, he shouts. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sowett to the stand. Mr. Sowett, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Oh, yes. Newspapers, yes. Mr. Sowett, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. This is the witness testimony, witness's account. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. This is testimony, it's telling me. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 o'clock p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Uh-oh. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Blackout record added to the court record. The blackout record, electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, Wright. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. It always comes back to the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Okay, Mia. Open the court record with tab, then point out contradictions in the testimony. Okay, cross-examination. And I can't press tab right now, so I guess it's coming up. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 o'clock p.m. The man who ran was, without doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. That's all of it. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere. Examine the court record with tab if something strikes you as being suspicious. Okay. So I have the badge, Cindy's autopsy report, statue, a passport, and the blackout record. And Frank saw it. Little punny there. It's 36 years old. Discovered Miss Stone's body. He's a newspaper salesman who saw Larry flee the scene. But something's not right. Something's not right. And find the evidence that contradicts his testimony and present it to the court. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 o'clock p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. That's all. Okay. Present the evidence. Okay, I understand now. The time of death was 4 to 5 p.m. So if he's saying he went at 1 o'clock, that's a lie. He couldn't have gone at 1 o'clock because the murder had not yet occurred. Yep, it had not yet occurred. Is there any other evidence here that contradicts what he's saying? No, the blackout record jives with what he's saying. I looked inside, then I saw her lying there. Okay, calls us the police. Okay, so now I go tab, present the autopsy report. Objection! You found the body at 1 o'clock p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 o'clock p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. Exactly, it had not yet occurred. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that. Oh. This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. Pain sweating. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sott, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Yes, thank you very much. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? The time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time that was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. Okay, cross-examination, time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. Okay, the blackout record. Yeah, the blackout record is what's going to get him now. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program. Where do I intervene, though? That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. I might have to go through it again. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. So is this the part where I intervene the blackout record? That's why he thought it was one. Let me object here and just see what it does. Object and present the blackout record. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Gah! The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Salt? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Ah! Wait! I remember now. Mr. Salt, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Salt. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Witness testimony, hearing time. Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Hearing the time. But he's saying he saw the time. Okay, let me review my evidence again. I think it's a statue now, because he's saying it was a clock, right? Yeah, it's a clock. There's a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. Okay, hit him. Hit him with a statue. Objection! Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now how is this supposed to be a clock? You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sot. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's the clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it, and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submit it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Exactly, it was a switch in the neck. He says, the witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Well, yeah, prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with a clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sot, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? His objection. This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never... Look, the clock. I heard, no, I mean, I saw... Shut up. I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn. Burn, give him death. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright. Your Honor? You claim the sound of the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think through it carefully. Yep, Your Honor. The sound Mr. Sott heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply examine the clock's batteries, ask the neighbors, or try sounding the clock. I think it's try sounding. I believe asking the neighbors is irrelevant, and I believe examining the batteries are also irrelevant. Let me try sounding. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? Ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sott heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sott, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? Well, it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow. It proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sott. I come all the way down here to testify, and look at what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal. You lawyers are all slime. I almost had it. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sott. Mia cuts in. Mia, I mean Chief. Listen up, Ryan. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow, and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right. Of course. Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Actually, no, but let me see what happens if I say yes. Wait, maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's going to be the passport. You say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. I believe it's going to be the passport. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. Take that! Yeah, the game is fun. Yeah, overall I have to say I'm very impressed with the game already. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 PM here, it's 1 AM the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. Let's see, because what time was she murdered? 4 o'clock PM? I don't know, I'm confused. It's like... It's all time. It's like 3 hours... Mathematics. Because, let's see, 9 hours from 4 is 1, right? It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9. I have 8. Unless it was at 4 o'clock. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'm counting off. My counting is off. That's why 5 is 1 hour. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Okay, yeah. So the math lines up. So it's... He would have been saying like 1 AM. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. That doesn't like completely make sense, because it's like when you travel you don't set your local clock, like unless she brought her clock with her to her trip in Paris. like before leaving your house you don't like turn all of your clocks ahead to the country's time that you'll be visiting. It stays the same, so it would still say 4 o'clock when she got back from Paris. The difference would be her local time. It would only be the case that the clock changed if she brought her clock with her and or changed the time. She brought it with her and she changed the time. You gotta use the bathroom. Be right back. I like the music. The courtroom antics. Objection! Take that. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. She took her clock with her. Proof enough for you, Mr. Saw It. Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Ugh. Dang, started frothing at the mouth. Order! Order, I say! Well, the case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness. He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. And find the true culprit at the same time. I'd say that's pretty dang remarkable. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, there is only formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. We got him off. Put the real bad guy behind bars. With that, this court is adjourned. Turns out that Frank Sott was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sott let himself in to do his dirty work. Did Larry just forget to lock the door on the way out? I guess. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sott grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Still can't believe we won. Right. Good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Actually, she helped a lot. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good, wait, no. I mean, bad. Bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. You got stars in your eyes, Larry. But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever. Exactly like the Squid Games. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. That's Larry, Mia. Don't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat. Oh no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to just cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Squeeze me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me, it's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, Wright? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about it. Huh? Oh yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? Is this where I presented my badge? Did I not collect this evidence? I don't think any of this lines up to what she's referring to. A sign of her affection for Larry. I think this statue is maybe the closest I could get. But that was Larry's gift to her. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. She loved you so much. She took it. She took this big old statue you made with her to Paris. Whatever. She probably just needed a clock. That's all. She must have cared a lot. She brought this clock in her luggage. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And represent them to the best of our ability. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right. Listen. Learn. Grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner on me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah. Well, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us. Unless you count the clock he gave Mia." I didn't know it then. But that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end. A brand new episode has been added. The Turnabout Sisters. The Turnabout Sisters. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'll save Turnabout Sisters for next time. Yeah, for next time. Okay. Jalen. Hey, thank you for watching Stormer Show. First time chatter. Woohoo! I hope you've all enjoyed the first episode of Phoenix Wright Turnabout Turnabout Trial, I think it was. Turnabout Sisters next time will be episode number 2. As always, thank you for watching. Jalen, nice to hear from you. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, thanks for everything, the view. And of course the follows help the channel. So thank you for supporting the show. Be right back with today's reading series, and then after that I'll have the exercise segment for today. So I hope you've enjoyed the first episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Stay tuned for more legal antics and courtroom shenanigans. I'm fine, Jalen. Thank you. Thank you for asking. It's actually pretty late here now, but it's good to hear from you. Okay, I'll be right back. Today's reading series. Thanks for watching.